Alright, as much as I hate to do this, um, I was asked to. Alright, by one of my friends, and I mean, honestly, he's my friend. He's a cool ass dude, and I respect him enough to do this. See, you have to understand that love is not that mushy shit. It's not that, oh, I love you, you're so cute, you're so fun, you're blah, blah. Love is that shit that whenever your buddy calls you out and goes, look, motherfucker, here's the problem. I'm not gonna bullshit you, I expect more out of you. Though, it ain't quite that bad, but we're gonna watch this. And it's kind of fun too. I like doing shit like this. Honestly, I like philosophy. I like to know why things do what they do. And I like to know how to correct it. I also have a lot of enjoyment out of figuring things out and trying to help my fellow man to become the best he can be. So with that, I was having, and it's really not even about him. It's a conversation I was having with a lady who called me a racist, and well, she said I couldn't understand what it was like because I'm white. I said, honey, I was born with a birth defect. I was put in a hole at recess and had my ass kicked and made to stay in that hole, humiliated, scared to tell my mom and my dad, scared to, like, I was made fun of for the majority of my school, singled out. So I don't know what it's like to be preyed upon. There was one of me. The kids that put me in the hole were black. I don't hold that against them, but I know what it's like to be singled out, to be different, to be the one that's whatever. Matter of fact, I would take $1,000 against a donut to say that I had it worse than you did. For you have friends. It was just me against the world sometimes, it felt like. But you know what? I didn't hold that against the black kids that put me in a hole and say that that all black people are bad, or say that something was, that I'm held back and I can't be who I'm supposed to be, because fuck that. That benefits no one. I said I have to be better than everyone else if I am to make it. And nobody's coming to help. Fuck it. Then I will work twice as hard as everyone else. And I'm also a high school dropout. I own 2 businesses. My family eats. I make it a point to serve others as best I can. So, but let us watch this video, because there's someone out there that most likely needs to hear this too. So we shall. Let's see if I can get this. Jordan Peterson right under it. Let's see, we'll start up, because I've seen this before.
Hey, line
so.
up! Line up! Everybody line up!
Line up.
We're about to race! Everybody line up! Shoulder to shoulder! Take off your backpacks! Basketball, line up! We're about to race! Hey, we are racing for a $100 bill. The winner of this race will take this. A $100 bill.
Number one, is life a race toward a dollar bill? If that's what you're focused on, I promise you it's going to be the hardest damn thing to ever get. You ever tried to be happy? You ever focused on happiness? Shit is elusive. Start having fun. You're happy. You can't directly chase money. Service is the race. Who can serve the most people? Then you'll find money. That I learned from Jim Rohn, a motivational speaker. Served me well for many years, but let us continue.
Before I say go, I'm going to make a couple statements. If those statements apply to you, I want you to take 2 steps forward. If those statements don't apply to you, I want you to stay right where you're at. Take 2 steps forward if both of your parents are still married.
That has nothing to do with race, but it has everything to do with culture. If people are better off with 2 parents, perhaps there needs to be a cultural change toward that. Now, and we're talking about race here because a lady called me a racist. If there is a divide by race on which ones the family stays together and which one doesn't, then that's a culture. Now, you can say that, well, the government has done that so that they can get a welfare check. How about you stop needing a welfare check? Start working. Look, you don't have to get pregnant at 15. And you sure as hell don't look for Romeo at the fucking club. Romeo, it's not at the club. So if you're gonna be Juliet, you gotta act like it. You don't go looking in the garbage for good food. We don't go digging in the party scene for a mate. Now, if you do that, it's your own damn fault. Culture, though. Okay? Not race. Culture. Listen to country music. Listen to rap music. I'll tell you who'll get pregnant faster. I'll tell you who will be left without a mate to raise them on their own, and then depend on the government, and then think that they have to stay in that. And now the government did say, hey, if there's a man in the home, you don't get the check. That created a bunch of bullshit, but why did they do it? Because if there's a man in the home, he should be working. The woman's got to take care of the kids. It's a culture. You can't blame others for what happens to you lest you become a victim and never get out of it. And if you don't like hearing that, then I'm sorry reality hurts your feelings. But at some point, you got to quit bullshitting and stare it in the face and fucking beat it. You become the example, and buddy, you are fucking awesome, because I know you, and I know you're there with your wife, your kids, and you're happy. Matter of fact, I envy your ass sometimes, because you're a bad sumbitch. But what you're doing is making excuses for others that need not be made, or what this is doing. This is creating weak people. This does not make a culture strong. It makes everybody think that, wah, poor, pitiful me, it's not fair. But let us continue. We do this all day.
Take 2 steps forward. If you grew
culture.
Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a private education.
I put my children in private education and public education. Neither one of them are teaching some serious necessities. There's serious deficiencies there. But whose fault is this? You always have to look at who takes responsibility. Because you're either a victim or you own shit and move forward. Now, I've had some bad things happen to me. I'm talking about some bad shit. I was born with a birth defect, right? I've had the FBI I've had to talk to. I have bankrupted my business. I have mortgaged my house. I have struggled, worked 12 to 14 hours a day, not seen my kids. I have busted my ass. And sometimes I've been weak. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes I don't understand things. But when I do well is whenever I'm not a victim. I say it's all my fault. Everything that happens in my life is my fault. Because at that point, only I can control it and change it. If it's your fault, then you're in control. I can't let that happen. Or if that happens, then it's out of my control and I can't change my circumstances and I'm a victim.
Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a free tutor growing up. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to worry about your cell phone being shut off.
What the fuck
Take
does that
2
matter?
steps forward if you've never had to help mom or dad with the bills.
I promise you right now, if you've taken responsibility to help mom and dad with the bills, you're better off than the motherfucker who hasn't. Promise that shit.
Take 2 steps forward if it wasn't because of your athletic ability. You don't have to pay for college. Take 2 steps forward.
He just called everybody dumb that has athletic ability, if you didn't notice.
If you never wondered where your next meal was going to come from, I want you
to ask yourself this. If you got it made to the point that you never have to help your parents do shit, if you got it made to the point that you never have to worry about food, what the hell is your motivation to become anything? Why the fuck would you try so hard? I'm running into this with more and more children today. They got everything, man. They got it easy. They're worthless little fucks. Like, honestly, they ain't gonna make shit out of themselves because they have no reason to give a fuck. Why would you care if it's all given? It wasn't until I came home one day. I just rolled my Forerunner. I'm 23 years old. This is sad, and it really hurts my soul to say this. My mom looks at me and says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Mom, I'm home." She said, "This is not your home." I said, "Let me get my clothes." She said, "You didn't buy those fucking clothes." I said, "Understood." I went and passed out down the road in my busted ass truck. But if not for that, I'd be dead now. My life was spared by a woman who loved me so much that she said, "Fuck it, I'm not supporting you anymore." Because then I had to become a man. I didn't have food. I didn't have a house. Called mom from jail. She said, "I don't care if you fucking die in there." That was the greatest love ever shown to me. Because of that, I had to stand up and be who I was raised to be. or who I thought I really was. So, keep talking.
Guys, up here in the front, just to turn around and look.
Hold on.
Every statement
That's white
I've
privilege.
made has nothing to do with anything any of you have done. Has nothing to do with decisions you've made. Everything I have said has nothing to do with what you've done. We all know these people up here have a...
Do you know what this man is doing to these people, these children? This college professor is giving a bunch of impressionable kids a fucking excuse to not make it. That's wrong. He should say, because you're back there, I'm going to show you how to run harder. I'm going to show you the secrets. I'm going to show you how to start the simple disciplines that when practiced every day will make you fucking great. And I know you got a reason. You got motivation to be great. But no, is that what it says?
Better
Fuck no.
opportunity to win this $100. Does that mean these people back here can't race? No. We would be foolish to not realize we've been given more opportunity. We don't want to recognize that we've been given a head start. But the reality is we have. Now, there's no excuse. They still got to run.
Now, I ask you this. That being said, who does it benefit? What would you have those people in the front do? Would you have them give up their money, their knowledge, their health for those who don't have it? What do you want? You know, is it my fault that my neighbor's kid doesn't have as much as my kids? No. But we don't know how things will turn out. I've got friends whose parents were rich and they enabled them until they killed them with drugs. They just kept giving them money. They kept saving them, kept rescuing them. They wouldn't let them fail, so they killed themselves in it. And I've got people like my mom who I love you too much to do that shit. Live on the street. I don't care if you die in jail. I ain't coming to get you. So the people with the silver spoon should have beat me 10 times over. Daddy got a great job. They got a huge house. They live in a nice place. Everything was given. Yet they're dead. I'm here. Why is that? They never were forced to deal with reality. I had to deal with it at a very young age. As a matter of fact, I would say it empowered me over most of them, which is probably why I earned more than most that I know. It wasn't given. It was earned through hardship. But let us continue.
Race. You still got to run your race. But whoever wins this $100, I think it'd be extremely foolish of you not to utilize that and learn more about somebody else's story. Because the reality is, if this was a fair race and everybody was back on that line, I guarantee you some of these black dudes would smoke all of you. And it's only because you have this big of a head start that you're possibly going to win this race called life. That is a pick.
What the fuck is winning this game called life? I don't know who the fuck this dude is, but what he's doing is dividing white and black. This man's more likely to cause a fucking war than Hitler. The truth of the matter is that, look, y'all, every single one of us has 24 hours in a day. Shit ain't gonna change. You have the same 24 hours as Bill Gates, and the black guy has the same 24 hours as the white guy. We ain't different. Gravity is the same for us all. It ain't 5 pounds more for me, unless I gain 5 pounds by eating. But let us continue. You know, life is inevitably fair. We all die. We all pay taxes. Gravity is the same. You are born naked and illiterate, just like everybody else. Whatever the fuck you do with it after that, it's kind of up to you. And you can change that. A few simple disciplines practiced every day over long periods of time will change everything. But a few simple disciplines not practiced every day will equal failure. And what is success or failure? Gandhi would have a completely different definition than Trump. But if you demand from someone else for them to share theirs with you because life was unfair to you, take it from the guy that was born with a birth defect. You need to grow the fuck up. But let's continue.
Sure of life, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing you've done has put you in the league that you're in right now. When I say go, on your mark, get set, go!
You see what that does? What's that doing?
If you didn't learn
That's
anything
good.
from this activity, you're a fool.
Hold up. But if anyone has the world's goods and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does God's love abide in him? Little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and truth. Okay, I'm going to help you with this. If you obtain the world, Solomon, as a king, it is your job to serve the world. For service to others leads to greatness, not for free. Teach them to earn it, which is what capitalism does. You want to help somebody? You give them a fish. They eat, they're still hungry. You teach them to fish. They can eat on their own. But if you teach them to make money and buy a rod and go fishing for fun, then you've given them the opportunity to be whatever they want, and that's capitalism. See, I learned something by helping other people. People will rape you for everything you're willing to give them. But that doesn't create good men. Teaching people to earn their keep makes good men. Teaching people to do it so well that they teach others to earn their keep makes fucking great men. This is what that meant. Throughout the Bible, it is taught to teach people how to do things, not to do it for them. Jesus said, your faith has healed you. That was yours. He didn't say, I healed you. Your faith has healed you, brother. Get up and walk. Now, he would say, get up and walk and sin no more. This means you got a job to do. You got stuff to do. And if you do that, well, man, life will be a lot easier than if you don't. But let me tell you something else. The whole Bible's not written about good people. It's written about people that are passionate, people that actually give a shit, people that want it, that go for things, and they go for not always the right thing, man, after God's own heart. He wasn't exactly the nicest guy. But that's 1 John 3:17. Read the whole chapter. It's a pretty good one. So, bruh, I love you. And you are one of the better motherfuckers I've met in my life, and that does not include race. You are a good man. You're intelligent. You're strong. If you want to be great, teach others to earn their keep. Teach them that they have an opportunity here. Yo, what's to stop someone from taking $10, buying something with that $10 that they can sell for 20 or 15, and then doing it again and again and again and again and again until they're massively wealthy? Nothing, right? You can do that. I can do that. Well, then you have the opportunity. Everything's there if it's dollars you wish to chase. If not, then teach whatever value you value. But do not teach that excuses and weakness are okay. All that's going to do is destroy the culture of your friends and family and give them excuses instead of opportunities. And I wouldn't wish that shit on anyone. Or does that make me a racist? I love you, bro. And you know what? I know you feel me on this. I know you understand. If you can get everyone to understand instead of pitting us against each other and say, well, you got an advantage. There's a whole lot of people that got advantages over us. They're the government, and they need to be stopped, probably. No, definitely. But I live in Alabama, and I don't know any real racists that will do anything but say, damn good job. And you're doing better than most, brother. Like, I know you. You okay. You ain't hungry. By the way, if you're born in the United States, you got it better than 90% of the world. The impoverished among us live better than the average in the rest of the world. Don't believe me? Check it out. And that's because of capitalism, my friend. I love you. And God loves you. Even if you don't like it. He really does. As you and I both know, this didn't fall together. How many hurricanes got to go through how many junkyards before you get a Cadillac? If you don't believe that can happen, you know why it didn't fall together. You didn't fall together, or one single cell is more complex than a space shuttle, and there's billions of them working together every second to keep you alive, or you wouldn't make it. That's complex. Love you.